Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content. Hey guys, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Friday. I believe it is June 6th, about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're getting an early rise here, early start. So what's happening, let me show you. There's a lot of moving and shaking, okay? So we got all the cars out here. My wife's driving herself, so that one will leave, the Corolla. And the idea here is to get this frame today under this cab and get this cab down, which means we have to move the Apache. So here in a second I'm going to set you guys up so you guys can watch us push it outside, and we're going to get it probably down here. It's either in the middle or behind the truck frame for now, because the truck frame is going to come into the garage being pulled by the tractor, probably, more than likely. And we got to have every inch of room that we can possibly have to maneuver. And once this goes outside, we'll need to take the dollies out from under it and put underneath of this guy. So it's a delicate dance, but we're gonna get it done. This is gonna be an interesting video for you guys. Okay, this is one of those where I have to put a disclaimer here. Absolutely do not try this shit at home. We are dumb. We're gonna do some redneck stuff that, you know, we've done over the years that we're somewhat good at, and try to get this under here. Okay, understand this. That cab is incredibly heavy. There's two 4x4s on four 4x4s, and it's bowing them. Okay, this frame alone, that's probably 5,000 pounds. Okay, maybe more. So fully dressed, I mean, every single piece of this will hurt you. Okay, and I mean hurt you like put you in the hospital or kill you. Okay, so if you watch us do some things here and you cringe, we're cringing with you, but we're doing them because we almost have to do them. But if there's a safer way to do it, we will try to do it. Okay, but today's going to be one of those days. So just don't try this stuff at home. I have to put that out there. I just feel like if I don't, somebody's going to just be like, oh, I can just lift my cab up and pull the frame out. It's incredibly challenging. And the challenge is not the physical act of unbolting it and lifting it up and over. The challenge is the weight and the physical size of everything. Okay? And having the right tools and equipment and all the things laying around, because if you don't, you will get hurt. Okay, so please, for the love of God, don't do what we're doing. All right, so otherwise we're gonna get to it. I'm gonna stop talking and start working, and we're gonna get the Apache next outside, and then probably spun around and outside, and then we'll figure out how to get this out of the grass this way a little bit, and then get the dollies under it, and then start working it into the garage and then back up. So that's what's going to happen next. Stay tuned, guys. Hope you guys like this. Give you guys a look at her out in the sun. This thing's heavier than it looks. You're trying to drag it down the driveway. Last time we had this out in the driveway in the sun, it didn't have the cab corners or rockers or anything on it. It's kind of cool. So what we're going to do next, guys, is jack this up and get the dollies out from under it and get them under the truck frame. Okay, just for ease of movement, right? Otherwise we're jacking up with a floor jack and pulling. So that's the next piece here. We're going to get ready and I'll bring it to you. see what happens. Time for dollies.
Yeah, but then that side don't go up. I gotta do one side at a time. Just right on the axle. Every inch. I can see and we're going to get it in here and then take a break.
Thanks. I'm not holding into the... It's because the dollies were aimed that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wheels turn. That's the direction of it. It's all good. Stop. Let's just physically push it down.
Okay. Hold on, we're on them.
Probably should try to push the back over.
Uh-huh.
Jack, let me get the jack.
We knew this would be a challenge. But the good thing is don't have to go that far.
We'll rearrange our jack to the wheel to where they're all aimed that way. You should be able to push it right over, you know? Turn the wheel so it's going right.
Good, good. It's going to grasp the whole thing. Because the trick is just not to drop it on the, or to hit the blocks, you know.
Can't hit the block. Now we're going to push it this way. It's easy because it's that way.
You are going to try to go forward. Our problem is we're on this little lip, but we're almost over it. So basically, I think what I'll do,
Just kind of guide it.
I'll push and guide. You just keep trying to go
You
straight.
just watch that back so don't hit the wheel.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going to go like this. You ready?
Yeah. Keep going.
We're in, aren't we?
Yeah. Holy hell. Okay. We're gonna take a break, boys. Okay, guys, here's where we're at. You guys seen us pull it into here. You know, I never dreamed that the first thing that would do burnouts in our driveway and garage would be this tractor. But it is. We've left black marks everywhere. The tire remnants under there. So, this is where we're at. The plan right now, what Ron's doing is on the dollies on the back, he's turning the wheels sideways because we're going to push the ass sideways. We're far enough in, we think, or close. And then we'll push that over because we should be able to do that with the dollies without the tractor. And the idea is to get this ass over, and then we'll take the tractor, bring it around the back, strap it and chain it, and we'll start pulling through that way. But before we do that, there's a couple things I need to hook up. There's a transmission cable that comes and hooks somewhere in here. And then there's a line that hooks here that comes through really long and snakes through all this. I want to put that line on here in a minute, and that cable, just get it pre-ran, because otherwise it'd be a nightmare under there. Trying to do that underneath there is just not fun. So that's where we're at. It's kind of cool. We have not killed the tractor yet, which is great. So stay tuned. We're gonna shove this over real quick and then start hooking some things up. I'll show you that once I get them hooked up and explain why we did it, and then we'll start snaking this thing under. Now remember, our goal in life is not to get this frame completely under this truck today, unless the cooler shows up, the transmission cooler. The goal is to get the engine and everything beyond this point where the tripod is, that line. Okay, it's got to be that far back. So we got to be in under this that much, so the garage door shut. Barring the cooler, transmission oil cooler shows up or doesn't show up, because that is something we have to have in here before this goes into that. So stay tuned. Lots more coming. We're actually making pretty good progress. It's like 9:22, so we're doing pretty good so far. And we'll have this rocking here in a minute. Be right back, boys. Okay, boys, here's where we're at. So, a couple last minute things had to be hooked up before this goes in. One of them is the transmission cooler, because of this line right here. It goes over, down, around, and so on. Nightmare. Got it in, had to take the starter off, got the starter back on. Still waiting on our cooler. It's about 11:15. So hopefully, usually UPS, I think that's who's bringing it, will be here typically around noon, 1 o'clock. So this is all hooked up. We also hooked up this cable that goes from here up and around and into the box here. I'm gonna call it throttle body. I know it's not that. Hooks up so when you shift gears, this is what shifts your gears. This bracket here, that does it. So had to get that hooked up. Now we are totally ready for the cooler. Once it comes, a couple bolts, bam, we're done. Bob's your uncle. Everything else is hooked up. I don't have this wire hooked up yet because I'm waiting for the cooler, because that bolt right there, it's right in the way. So once I get the bolt threaded in, then I can snap it in. The other trans cooler line goes from the cooler to here, and I have that line. We'll be hooking that up in a little bit. And yeah, so really we're at a point of trying to get this lined up better. And you can see the big old chain. That's not a snake. We're gonna hook this chain to the back here to the tractor, and then we're gonna try to pull this in without you know, knocking the cab off the center blocks and all those things. So some of these blocks can go away, like these three right here I'm getting ready to move. Anything that's on here that doesn't need to be here, I'm gonna try to get out of here as soon as I can, so we have more room. Now it's gonna be interesting. It's tight. I don't know how else to put that. Try to give you a better angle of this. It's incredibly tight. Over here, not a lot of room. Over here, no room, right? So the back of the frame has to come over, and probably the front of the frame has to come over. We kind of got to scoot everything to like here, and then probably about 8 inches this way, maybe a foot this way, and then try to snake in. So anyway, boys, that's where we're at. I'll get with you guys here in a minute, turn the camera on, you guys can see what we're doing, and see us try to do this crazy shit, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. Be back in a minute. boys. Well, Big Ron's mowing the grass. We got the cars back in the driveway, which is amazing to actually have the driveway back. That is huge for us. We got the Apache back in the garage, out of the sun. It is hotter than hell. It's 91 degrees in the garage with 56% humidity. It's hot, and that's with a bunch of fans running. So here's where we're at. We are gonna kind of set like a plumb bob right here, okay? Straight down. That's gotta land inside of that motor, that body mount, okay? So we're gonna have to jack this up and bring it this way here, okay? Because that mount's gotta get to here. So we gotta go over probably 3, maybe 5 inches, okay? We are under. Everything's kind of where it needs to be. We do not have the cooler yet, but I do have room still to do it. We're gonna try to get this thing as close as possible, and then hopefully by that point maybe the cooler shows up. If not, it'll be tomorrow. But we are under. We are cleared. Give you guys a nice little view here where we're at. So this is where we're at. So we got it up. We did have to go up about 3 to 4 boards on each cinder block higher, which was a little hairy, but we got it. You guys watched that. The hardest part of this, guys, make note of this, okay? If you do decide to do this, you absolutely have to have some kind of dolly to go under the wheels. If you don't, you will never ever get it there, okay? You're gonna, I mean, the amount of adjustments that were made inch by inch, inching this back is incredible. But it got there and it's done. So really happy, really happy. So hopefully here in a little bit I'll get a cooler, and once I get a cooler I can set this down and then start attacking, hooking everything up, and that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. So looking good so far, boys. But that's where we're at. There's our Apache. She did good outside today. Is she still hotter than hell? Yep. And yeah, so just really happy this went the way it did. It could have went a lot worse, but so far so good. Nothing stupid's happened. And now, even if the board's broke and something stupid happened, it's only gonna fall onto the frame. It's only gonna go a foot and a half. So, and our plan here in a minute is to start dropping it down and getting it down as far as we can and still have room to put this cooler in. Which, I mean, I'm being really honest. The guys that do this for a living work on these in the trucks. They don't pull the engine to do a cooler. So, I mean, it is possible. It's just, God, it'd be nice if I could get it without, you know, struggle busting, you know, but see where it goes. There's our Volkswagen thing looking all pretty. She's waiting her turn. Right now, guys, I think we're 54 days to Louisville. Something like that, 53, 54. So, yeah. So we gotta keep our foot on the gas. This is huge, absolutely huge. Once that cooler comes in and that body comes down and the boards get out from under it and it's bolted down, it is a flat sprint hooking everything up, and we'll be running and driving. With the exception of a couple things on the front, which I don't absolutely have to do, but I'm gonna do it because it's here, which will probably be next week. So see what happens. But so far so good, boys. No craziness. I do believe at some point we're gonna put this beam back in here and put the engine hoist up here, hooked to that beam, just to hold this front up, and that'll help us get these boards and everything out, and so on and so forth. So I'll bring all that to you. Stay tuned, guys. Project Save Big Red she's almost saved. So let's just keep on going. See you in a minute. Okay, guys, here's where we're at. We've got pretty much the frame lined up as best we can just eyeball. Ron's hooking up the strap. We put the front cross member back on for now. We're gonna lift off of this, and that'll allow us to take the front up and remove these boards and stuff safely. And while we do it, we'll be doing the back with the floor jack and the 6x6. But this should make this dramatically safer. So that's the plan here. I'm gonna set you guys up so you can watch. right, boys, the moment you've all been waiting for. Big Red gets her new frame. The cab is down on the frame. It's not bolted down yet. It's got one bolt in right here in the front, but it is on there. No more boards holding it up. No more craziness. We did it. We didn't die. Good job.
Thank you.
And so now, tomorrow, we got to take the frame that way about 1/2 inch, which will be just jacking up the body in the back here and then pushing the frame over on the rollers. Not too bad. Then tomorrow I'll put the wheels and tires on the back. That'll level this out, because right now it's kind of sitting like that. And get some air in the front tires. My God, look at that. And yeah, so here's what happened. Let's go over what happened. We got it under here. Cab was still up in the air, waiting on the Mishimoto transmission oil cooler. It showed up about 3 o'clock, FedEx. Great. Go to put it in. Everything was good. I'm not 100% sure it's not going to leak. I think there's a 75% chance it's okay, and a 25% chance that it might leak in the same spot where it snapped off before. I just have a bad feeling about it, but we'll know soon enough when we put, I think it takes 4 gallons or some shit of transmission fluid and a billion gallons of antifreeze and all the things, but it's all in there. We did manage to get most things hooked up, so all the electronics are hooked up, all of that. There's your Mishimoto cooler back in there. Everything's hooked up for the most part. I'd say 90% of it. We could honestly probably put fluids in it if we wanted, but we'd have to get them, and man, there's going to be a lot of it. But my goal right now is to get the body bolted down, the cab bolted down to the frame, get that done, and then make sure everything else is hooked up under the hood, and everything, you know, we can put power to it and, you know, put it in gear and do all the things, and then get some tranny fluid in this. And I think we got to put 13 or 14 quarts of tranny fluid in it, so I got to get some of that coming and start rolling. But my God, boys, what a day. It's hotter than hell here. I think it was 102 today. It's just stupid. It just sucked the life out of me. Sorry if I sound tired. I'm exhausted. It's 91 degrees in the garage in the shade with 54% humidity. I mean, it's just a sweat box. But this had to happen, and we're in a really good spot, I think. So tomorrow we should be in a much better spot. The cab bolted down, wheels on the back, get all this kind of dialed in up here, and come at it with some fresh eyes and not exhausted, and finish her up. So hope you guys are having a great night. We're doing pretty good over here. We're gonna have a beer, jump in the pool, and just take it easy. We got the Apache in. We did go to move it back in earlier and touched it. It was like touching the surface of the sun. I was like, oh hey, ah! But yeah, put some gloves on. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna shut up and go have a beer. Hope you guys have a great night, and we will be back tomorrow finishing up Project Save Big Red. And there's an off chance that I'll probably be doing some welding and grinding on the Apache as well. So stay tuned, and we will see you guys in the morning.